are going to talk about stress and burnout. Do you hear me well? Good. And I think it's so important because stress can bring illnesses. It can drain us. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and we feel tired because of stress. We don't sleep well. Before falling asleep, we have thoughts about the next day or the future, and it can really color our life, with a negative energy. The people that are new here, my name is Priya. I work with people for the last 25 or more years, doing retreats and one-on-ones and all kind of webinars and lectures, and I love people. And I was very, very stressed. I remember when I was in college and even high school, before tests, before exams, before interviews, job interviews, I was stressed until the last moment, preparing and preparing. So some people here that came to today's webinar are more stressed for the next moment, for tomorrow, for the next 2 days, and other more anxious about the long-term future. We're going to talk about both, even though they are different. So first of all, we always in the mindset starting the childhood, hoping that you remember time with no stress. I don't know if you remember time when you're a toddler or older that you are totally calm, climbing trees, walking in the forest, running on the beach, being playful, being silly, being one. Sometimes when kids are going to school on their way, they see things, they don't have any sense of time, right? The adult needs to tell them, it's time, because for them the present moment is the only time and they don't think about the future. Do you remember time like that you are peaceful? Do you miss that? If you didn't have time like that, it means that it started really, really early, that one of the parents brought stress or criticism, expectations, or just you saw that this is the way to live, and you start to be stressed in early age. But if you remember a little bit, what time, what age the mind took over, there was an incident, something happened, you learned something about yourself. Maybe you're afraid, maybe you didn't feel safe, maybe you're anxious, something happened and the mind took over. When the mind take over and the mind starts to work, stress can be created. The stress is created only by the mind. When you are connected to your body and to your heart, there is no sense of time, there is no stress at all. The heart is always in the present moment. When you dance, when you make art and you forget, when you meet a friend, when you make love, sometimes time disappears and we are not stressed. But then the mind comes and reminding you things to do. It's important for me to say that people that are not stressed can do a lot. It's not connected to how much you are doing outside. You can be very fiery, and in the end of the day, you will say, "Wow, I accomplished a lot," but inside to be peaceful. We need to do a lot. I need to do it. I have two kids, I have work, I have a home, I have a partner. I'm doing a lot, but still the sense of stress is not there. So it's about a sense of being and not about doing. Mm. There are companies, I work a lot in the Bay Area with companies as well. There are companies that everybody has stress there. It's part of the mentality of the company. You need to achieve a lot and you need to be stressed and you're afraid to lose your job and you have so much to do more than your calendar can hold. So there is sometimes companies and communities that encourage stress. This is hard because it can bring a lot of suffering. How to prevent and how to work with that. So first of all, I will ask you small questions. Do you think a lot about tomorrow before falling asleep? Right? You go and you cover yourself with a blanket, ready to sleep. Do you think about the next day? What do you need to do? What you will wear? Who you're going to meet? Like running the movie in your mind about the next day. If you are doing that, it creates stress. We start from the way we are going to bed. It's so important what you tell yourself before falling asleep. It will come into your dreams. I will offer a lot of practical tools in this webinar. One of them is now, is like before falling asleep, do some meditation of following your breath. breathing 3 big breaths to your belly, to your chest, listening to the sounds. I'm teaching my kids to fall asleep like that. And my daughter told me a few days ago, I love listening to the sounds. Yeah. So in moments of meditation, read something positive, poem, something you like, because the way you are putting yourself to bed, in a way, it's like you are leading yourself into falling asleep, is will influence your dreams and the next day also, and the way you will wake up. So if you are the type that is thinking about the next day, it's not really efficient, right? It's not that you are doing something, it's only in your mind and you're exhausting yourself. So this is the first thing to change, the way you fall asleep. Then waking up in the morning, who is waking up first, you or your mind? Sometimes the mind is waking up. You need to do this. I just woke up, right? So we are trying to develop this inner voice of a different leader inside. In the mindset, we separate ourselves to 3 parts: the mind, the heart, and the center, the higher self, the leader, the parent that maybe you never had, the calm and confident and a parent that can lead you. The mind became strong, the heart suppressed in early age, right? Depends what happened. Maybe you moved the country, maybe parents divorce, maybe something at school, bullying. We don't need a lot in order to for the mind to start to function, in order to move to survival mode. When the mind took over, the heart became suppressed and it's starting to boil. Usually it starts with anger. Anger is alive. I don't know if you remember anger or if it was allowed to show anger. If not, it can boil into sadness like an inner stew, and then it will become depression and despair. I just finished a talk with somebody in the morning. He said I was in depression. His mind took over really early age. He started to be hard with himself, to stress himself, and then he became depressed. The heart became depressed. When we wake up, we understand we can lead our life in a different way. And that's what I'm coming here to train you to do. The way you wake up in the morning is important. The first thing that wakes up, usually it's the mind reminding you things again you need to do. It's very stressful and not healthy. Try to build a routine in the morning. Sitting meditation in your bed in the morning, just counting breath, reciting a mantra or something positive about the day or about yourself, checking what you need. Are you thirsty? Do you need tea or coffee? Are you hungry? Do you need to take a shower? Maybe warm shower, maybe cold shower. So it's like being attentive to yourself. Every night is different. Did you sweat in the night? Yeah. Were you cold? How do you feel now? Again, it's like a leader or a parent that is caring. And this is more important than what we need to do. We will do everything. And by the way, people that meditate and people that are calm inside, they will accomplish much more, much more. I work with CEOs, I work with people that do a lot. When you are calm inside, you can take decisions so fast and you can be active and you have more energies than others because you didn't drain yourself with stress. So those few moments, if before falling asleep, in a few minutes in the morning, because sometimes the mind is saying, but we don't have time for that, right? We don't have time for that. Believe me, you save time by doing that. So the way you wake up in the morning is important. And I heard so many ideas from people, after we process and we talk about how to wake up, what are the first thing we want to do? Sometimes you want to stretch a little bit. Sometimes you want to drink your tea, but as meditation with mindfulness. And then you start your day, right? Having a good schedule and a very organized schedule can help with stress. When I work with people, many people tell me, because I have a really amazing schedule and I have all kind of programs supporting me, you know I know exactly what I'm going to do this today. I'm not stressed because I know that from 12 to 1 I'm here, and then 1 to 2 I have something else, and 2 to 3:30 I have a break, and so there is no place for why to stress, right? The stress can come sometimes before something like a job interview, or you have something important to work, or even a blind date, or something that is important for you, and then stress can come. So there are people that are stressed all the time, just because they live, just because there are things to do. But there are also people that are stressed before something meaningful. And we take things so seriously. So the problem is that many times the mind thinks that this job interview is the most important thing in your life. The mind is sick a little bit with the seriousness disease. It takes everything so seriously. We are trying to change the order. The well being is more important than job interview. Your well being and your health is more important than this blind date or anything else that is stressing you. We are changing this order because this is the truth. I love to work with people that got sick. I work a lot with people after cancer, after heart attack. And the reason I love to work with them because they understand that the health is the most important thing. And they agree. Many times when people didn't get any wake up call, any sickness or something, fired from work or divorce or something like that. So they still think that the most important thing is the next thing they are going to do. This is an illusion. And also, it creates a lot of stress. What's the difference between a person that is calm and going to a job interview and a person that is stressed before a job interview? And you can change a job interview to anything else that is stressing you. What is missing or what the person that is calm have that the person that is stressed doesn't have? I want to think about it a little bit. There are people that before a job interview they are stressed, they are still studying until the last moment. Or before an exam, they're still like, you see them with the notebooks, right? But you studied now already for a long time. Why until the last moment? The last moment is so important. The last moment before falling asleep, the first moment of the day, the first moments, the few moments before something important is important to come back to yourself and to be calm and to breathe, right? What is missing is the self trust. People that trust themselves are less stressed because yes, you prepared, yes, you did whatever you can. It's not that we want to do, right? But you know that you bring yourselves and you will look at their eyes and you will breathe and everything will be okay. And anyway, it's not in your control. You will do the best you can, right? But part of it is not in your control if you'll be accepted or not, if the date will fall in love with you or not, right? What will happen in the long term future, we don't know. It's the unknown. And this unknown can bring anxiety. It's even worse than stress. The stress is more daily day life. It's this feeling in the body. Soon we'll meditate a little bit and I will ask you, where do you feel it in your body? There is a place, there is energy, there is something that when you feel stress, it's there, it's present. Anxiety can become anxiety attack. And then it's even worse. It's like heart beats fast. You're sweating, you're dizzy. It's like a scale between stress, anxiety, and anxiety attack, right? So the unknown will always be unknown, but for part of you, it's not comfortable that you don't know. And it can create anxiety. Trusting yourselves will not help with the unknown. Trusting yourself will help with the daily day life. You know that you'll wake up in the morning, you'll brush your teeth, you will drink your tea, and you will start your day, and you'll do the best you can. There is nothing to be stressed about. The anxiety is more coming in when you think about the unknown. What will happen? Will I get married? Will I have kids? Will I have enough money? Will I get a job? And then you are starting to think maybe I'll be homeless, maybe I'll be that, maybe. And we create stories in our mind, and then it's like logs in the fire, and boom, the anxiety can visit. The anxiety, when people have anxiety, comparing to people that are really relaxed about the long-term future, also there is something that is missing, and this is not trusting yourself. Is what do you think? I'm giving you a second. People that trust the future, those people trust the universe, time, nature, God, however you want to call it. Some people feel the time is running out, right? I'm like fighting against time. They're fighting. with time. They're fighting with the future, and it can create anxiety. You cannot really fight with the future. The only thing you need to do is to do the best you can, to do your 50%, the best you can for 1%, but then to try to trust the part you cannot control. Anyway, it will not help you, the anxiety. But just to listen to it because I say it or because you read it will not help. I will give you practical tools soon, what to do in your daily life in order to attain self trust and attain this trust in life. Because there was a moment in your life, if you have anxiety, that you lost this trust in life. You lost this trust in the universe. Something happened to you, right? When you experience something painful, you lose trust. And it's okay, it's not your fault, right? When you're being criticized a lot, you lose trust in yourself. It's not your fault. That's what you learn. This is the mirror you receive from a parent, from a teacher, from a friend, from somebody at school, and from a partner, and you started to lose this self trust, and it's so important. It's like a gift, and you lost the trust in life. So this is our work. Basically, the mindset journey is a work to start to cultivate this self trust in yourself and his life. I am going to share here a link for my discovery journey. It's the first step of learning 6 sessions about yourself and about life. And also, if you press the link, you can find a 15 minutes link to book time with me. Because the webinar, I'm going to talk about stress and anxiety and burnout, but everybody here are different. And when we explore a little bit more with more details, we can give you a better practice for you. There are many kind of practices, but I want to say something and be very clear. I'm coming from Zen tradition, and we practice a lot of meditation. If we don't practice, we will not receive this gift of self-trust and trusting universe. We can't. It's like if you want to be in shape, you go to the gym or you swim or you do yoga or you practice, you invest time in it, right? To invest. The same with everything else. There are people that read books and go to lectures and webinars and everything, but understanding will not help you. In Zen, this is one of the first sentences you learn: understanding will not help you. I like reading and I like lectures. So I'm saying understanding will help you until a certain point. There is a transparent wall, that you think you know, but then still you feel stress. Still you feel, tired and fatigued because part of you, you didn't really help other parts of you. So I think understanding is important. You understand the stress is limiting and it will not help, and anxiety is even worse, and you want to be happy. Some people are stressed and accomplish a lot. They're doing a lot and they're accomplishing a lot, but they're not happy. What is the most important thing for you? Is it to be happy or to be successful? I'm not saying you cannot gain both, but what is the most important for you? If it's to be happy and calm, you're in the right place. And I believe that if you'll be calm, you'll be successful because people will want your presence, will want you. If you go to a job interview, they don't check only your performance, it's the energy you bring. Are you going straight with head up? Are you looking in their eyes? Are you smiling? Or are you stressed and small and anxious? I would prefer to take someone that is calm, right? And this is why practice is important. So I'll talk about different things we can do. And again, it's different practices to different people. So I do want to encourage you to book time with me. It's free. I'm doing it with love. I love to work with new people. I'm not working one on one with people. I have people I trained, but there are groups and there are retreats and there are beautiful things we can do together. So, first of all, a mantra. It's so important to find your mantra, something you say to yourself. Today I met someone, as I said in the morning, and he had a beautiful mantra: I'm going to go through this struggle with a smile. It's his. I'm going to do it with a smile because I'm not going to break. I'm going to win that. It can be life is beautiful. It can be it's okay to enjoy, or reminding yourself that everything is all right. By the way, everything is all right. It's not that everything is all right in the world, and it's not everything is all right in your life, in your external life. But we want to grow this sense of everything is all right in this moment. For children, for small children, they cannot enjoy life if they don't feel that everything is all right, right? If they don't feel that everything is that are safe. For a baby to feel safe, it needs that six needs will be attained. That it will not be too cold or too hot, because then they're screaming. If they will not have pain in the body, right? If they don't need to go to the bathroom, it's in the diaper. If it's wet, they're screaming. And if they're not hungry or thirsty, those six needs to be met. And then it feels safe, right? And then we can say everything is all right. Now you can explore. Now you can be creative. You can be open. You can enjoy. And then they smile. It's so easy when you're a baby. You just need that, and then you are smile. You are smiling. But we can also come back to this sense because we don't need a lot. We think we need a lot, but we don't need a lot in life. I learned it when I traveled in India. Before that, I had a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, a lot of things I didn't need. It's like that, right? When you're a teenager and you want everything, and everything is shining, and you think it will make you happy, but it's not real happiness, right? It's you're buying something you love, and after that, happiness, it's going. It's not a real happiness. So I discovered that, and I decided to live to India after college, and I discovered I don't need a lot. The opposite. In order to feel free in the world and travel, I need a small bag. If not, if it will be too big, it will be heavy. And I learned during my journey that I don't need. And of course, it's great to have. If you are coming from a feeling of I need, life will teach you to let go, not in a nice way. So the understanding that we need not to be cold or hot, we need a good jacket in the winter, right? And we need food, and we need for sure water. It's important. And we don't want pain. Pain in the body, it's hard. But this is it. And I think also we need love, right? And touch. And then from this content place, you live moment to moment. And this is the meditation. The meditation is not only the sitting meditation. I will send you a link also with labeling meditation in my YouTube channel. I'm guiding meditation, and I believe that it's a good practice. I call labeling meditation. It can be many kinds of meditation, but it's not only about that. Some people meditate twice a day for 45 minutes, 30 minutes, but the rest of the day they're not present. I believe to really bring and wave the meditation in your daily life from the moment you wake up, the way you walk, you are driving somewhere. Usually, the people of the near future that are stressed. Will I find parking? Will I not find? Maybe I will not find parking. They're already stressed. Let's say you found parking and you are in your car. Don't leave immediately. When I get to a place, I'm taking a moment of meditation. It's so peaceful inside the car. It's quiet in a way. And you are sitting, taking a deep breath, listening to sounds, and saying something kind to yourself. I'm talking a lot about talking to yourself, right? Don't do it out loud. The people think you are crazy, but from inside, right? I will tell you why. There is a library of sounds inside. There's a radio channel, right? And the radio channel, that different kind of channel. Some people live in a channel of I'm not good enough, and they open the channel or it opening by itself, and they hear I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I will not make it. This is not a nice way to go to meet somebody new, right? Or to start the day. But this channel is open. Or there is a channel I'm to blame, or I'm confused, or channel about stress. I will never make it. It's too many things to do. I have this and but you don't know that you can take the microphone. This radio channel is yours. I have a microphone here, you see. This radio channel is yours. You are the owner. Yeah. You are paying for everything. It's your home. You can take the microphone and start talking to yourself in your radio channel that will say to you, everything is all right. You are great. It will be wonderful. And if you don't want to go into the it will be wonderful and the pink, some people say, how do you know? I don't know. I don't know if it will be wonderful, but I also don't know if it will not, it will not work. You are saying to yourself it will be a disaster. And I'm saying to myself it will be wonderful. It's the same, right? It's just the other side of the coin. So you don't have to say it will be wonderful, but you can say everything is all right. But anyway, everything will be all right. So things like that you can say. So you take the microphone and you start to talk to yourself in a pleasant way. Think about a teacher you loved or an adult as a child that you appreciated at school, family member, a friend of the family, a doctor, somebody you liked. He looked at you in eye level. He was calm, or she was calm. She was smiling, a little bit, and you like the energy. She appreciated you. She saw you, right? This adult we need to cultivate inside us. Even if you don't have it, you start to learn how to behave like that. And then you decide it, we call it a mantra, right? You decide about a mantra that you say to yourself every time you feel weak. So a mantra is one tool. Coming back to the moment as much as possible, I really want to recommend you to choose 4 or 5 things to do daily as meditation. I like taking a shower as meditation to feel the water, and I love all kind of body wash, lavender, vanilla, and you know, all the senses are working, and I'm not thinking about anything I need to do after, and I have a lot of things to do after taking a shower. This is the moment of meditation, and sometimes when you're in meditation, creative thoughts can come. So to choose 4 or 5 things like that, washing dishes, folding laundry, sitting in the car in a traffic jam, things like that that you are things even you don't like that is making you stressed or anxious. Choose to breathe into it. Not just things. Don't choose things like walking or doing yoga, things you already do as meditation. Choose things that usually you just do in order to finish with, or even things you don't like to do, and start to do it with meditation. To do things as meditation is to do it slowly, a little bit more slower, and not to think about anything, to listen to music, to listen to sounds, to feel the water when you wash the dishes, to fold the laundry, to to sit in your car and your mind is saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. It will not help you, right? For 10 minutes you are stuck and you are stressed and you are coming exhausted and tired and maybe late 2 3 minutes, and it's not nice, you're right, but it didn't help, right? Or maybe you arrived in time even and you just were stressed for nothing. Put nice music, recite your mantra, concentrate on your breath. You can do it differently. Sometimes we need a reminder and we need some people in our life that will encourage that. The community is important. When I did the work, I was surrounded. I lived in a center for 6 years, so I was lucky to be able to do that. So you have all the time reminder to work as meditation. You have the meditation itself, you have qigong. So basically you do everything as meditation, and it really gave me this gift. But I work with people that are not in a monastery. So we need a reminder, we need a community of people that you meet that are also doing the work and reminding you to breathe, reminding you to take a break. In my YouTube channel, there is also a link for 1 minute meditation that you can sit 1 minute, only 1 minute, that you can sit with yourself, and you can do it any time a day as much as you want. So the two things we want to cultivate is self-trust and trusting life. Self trust is easier. I will tell you why. Because it's working only in the realm of thoughts, the radio channel that I talked about. It's only that. If you change the channel, you'll start to feel relaxed because the self talk that is stressful and is negative, this is the one that is hurting you. Now, I'm not against the mind. I love my mind. It's practical, efficient, young, curious. We need the mind organized. What we'll do without the mind, right? But we don't want the mind stressed, blaming, criticizing, stuck, confused. We don't want that. This is hurting us. By doing the work, you understand, and this is why I want to connect it to the childhood. There was a moment in life you felt fear. that you felt not safe, that the mind had to take control in order to survive. This is important to trace back and to understand that this is the reason of the stress. You lost trust in yourself, you lost trust in others. Depends, or in the universe. You lost trust in one of those, and then stress and anxiety started to live inside you. When we go back and we come back to this memory, we have systems that we can really come back and talk to ourselves and take care of our inner child. We need to do this work. The Zen is not a lot about, and the mindset not a lot about going back to the past. I'm not. This is not. It's not my way to go back to the past and to start to process the past. But well, few things that can help us in our journey, and this is one of them. I want you after this masterclass to journal about that if you can. Journal about what happened, when is the shift. Sometimes it's a period of time, it's not one event. Sometimes there are steps. You're saying maybe 22, but maybe something happened before that. The way you know is when you lost your freedom to dance freely, to cry freely, to meet people, to look in their eyes, to be confident, to be free, to take risks because you trust life. When did you lose that? Then we want to understand that the mind actually is afraid. Stress is fear. You're afraid, right? Not what about what people think. You're afraid about not to get this job. You're afraid not to have money. You're afraid, not, not to find love. So it's all fear. So there is a part of it is truly afraid. And this is the voice that we want to cultivate. It's the voice of the adult talking to the child is afraid. So I want you to start to journal about that. Maybe you know already the answer. Soon I will give time for questions. I love questions. I'm already speaking for half an hour. My gosh, I can speak for another half an hour. But I would love you to ask questions. And then also we'll sit a few minutes of meditation. So if you have questions, please raise your hand. If you want to share something, it will be really nice. So all those tools, journaling about that, about something specific, then understanding the fear and finding the fear in the body. Okay, let's be forward. I see that there is not many questions, but let's close our eyes for a second. Close your eyes. If you're not driving, relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and out. I hope you hear the music. Go over your body, your feet, your knees. If you pay attention, the knees are a bit colder than the rest of the body. Release your belly. Relax your shoulders. Feel the sensation in your chest. Relax your eyes. Feel the taste in your mouth. And now consider on your breath, breathing in and out. Just observe your breath. Inhale, exhale. Relax your shoulders even more. Where do you feel the stress in your body? The heaviness, the tiredness, the stress? Where do you feel it in your body? Is it in the chest, belly? It's a sensation. Breathe it and say to yourself, everything is all right in this moment. And there is another moment and another moment. Listening to the sound, everything will wait. You did so much in the journey of life and so much yet to do. But it's so nice to climb to the top of the mountain, sit and wait for nothing in particular to happen, resting, listening, breathing, coming back to ourselves, coming back to what is. No need to think about the future, no need to think about the past, finding the gap between the thoughts just for a little while. Slowly you can open your eye. So this was a 1 minute meditation, or maybe two, and you can do it. Just put soft music, come back to your breath, and then you'll feel some people are so busy they forget they're cold, they forget they need to go to the bathroom, they're holding, not attentive to the needs. And the mind is pushing and pushing. The stress lives only in the future. So again, we want to have a schedule. We want to know. We also want a vision about the long-term future, what you're going to do a year from now, 5 years, 10 years. But we're not changing the vision every day, right? We have a vision and you put it aside and you're doing the best you can to manifest. You are doing, but in a very calm way. Okay, now I really want questions because I feel that question will make it more alive and personal. Who is brave today? And even now, when I ask this question, inside there is in a debate because maybe you have something to share or to ask, but there is a voice telling you or stressing you. Maybe it's not interesting enough. Maybe it's not important. I'm shy. I care what people think. And it can create stress. But maybe this stress is also excitement. We want to do new things. We want to take risks a little bit and to surprise ourselves. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. I will wait for a few more seconds.
Priya, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
I was very curious about the part you mentioned in terms of tracing back your childhood and finding that moment where you didn't feel safe anymore and your mind had to, step up to protect you. I think that's important work. And I'm wondering if you have any advice on how to go about doing that work.
Yes. So we can trace it back together for a second if you want. My parents divorced when I was 4, and I remember that all this hectic, the noise, the shouting. I remember this time that I just, holding myself and my mind took over. It was necessary. By the way, we don't blame the mind. It was necessary back then to protect ourselves, right? So I want to ask you, it's okay to ask you here? To do it together? Are you open to that?
Yes, I'm open to it.
Okay. So do you remember time in early child or freedom, like being in nature, being with friends, feeling safe? Do you remember time like that?
Yes.
And then what age do you feel it shifted that you started to be a little bit hard with yourself, critical, more introvert, or more shy or afraid?
Well, for me in particular, I had something come up in a therapy session recently that I think might be it, but I don't know if, jumping to that conclusion is kind of skipping ahead too far.
What age was it?
Um, I think I was somewhere between like 11 and 13.
Yes. So probably it's this, but until the age of 11, did you feel more comfortable, more safe?
I think so, definitely when I was younger.
Yeah. Maybe something happened before, there are steps, but it's okay. I mean, it doesn't matter to go with 11. It's okay. We just need to understand that the fear was necessary. So the fear happened, and the survival mode was necessary. Why we want to trace it back? In order to be more compassionate to the mind, because sometimes people can say, I can't stand my mind, right? There
Yeah.
are ways that the mind control. There are 7 ways. Okay. And one is fear and anxiety to bring stress. This is one of the way for the mind to control fear and anxiety. But there are 6 more. For example, telling you that you're not good enough, or you're to blame, or you're confused, like shaking the self-confidence. Okay. So the mind started to do it out of fear. And this is the understanding. Okay. And when you understand it under the mask of the policeman or the jailer or the judge or the strict father, yeah, that the mind holds, there is a little child that was truly afraid, and you had a good reason. You remember what happened, and you had a good reason to be afraid, right? You're only a child.
Mhm.
And this understanding bring the relief of, not to fight the mind, but to actually help the mind and help every time stress comes. I want you to imagine this 11 years old child that is afraid, but somebody needs to help him. So when stress comes, when fear comes, what you can say to this kid. So think about it. If you go back, what do you think the 11 years old self wanted to hear from an adult?
Uh, Probably something along the lines of, uh, I don't know, like, "It's gonna be okay, we have this under control." It I think the experience felt like our family didn't have control.
Exactly. It's going to be all right. I've got you. You are safe. It's under control. So that's what we need to hear. When stress comes, I want you to say to yourself today, in the daily life, everything will be okay. Now, you don't know that everything will be okay, but it doesn't matter because it's more the feeling. Anyway, everything will be okay. We will get whatever we need to. If we are stressed for a job interview, if we're supposed to get it, we'll get it. If not, maybe something else is waiting for us. It's also something to learn. But basically, to say to yourself those things that you wanted to hear. This is the voice I'm talking about from the beginning of the masterclass. Is the voice that we didn't have, that we needed so much. And I want you to really imagine what an adult, a calm adult. Even look around if there is somebody you always admired, or what a calm adult will say in that moment, and say to yourself, and you will see how slowly, it will not change in a second, because the stress is there for a while, and also part of you will not believe in the beginning. It's only words, but words have power. So you start to say to yourself, and in the beginning, it's like writing on sand, and the wind comes and take it. But slowly, it will become you. And you will not need to say it anymore, because this part that is stressed and afraid will calm down. Another work we need to do, and this you can do by yourself. You can do by yourself. While you sit meditation, also, we sit quietly in order to find those parts and talk to ourselves as well. You don't need in meditation to do something. You sit and you are trying to be in the moment, but sometimes things will come and understanding will come. So this is why it's very, very good to also curve like 15 minutes a day to sit with yourself and wait for nothing in particular, because you don't know what will come, but create this time for this inner work. um, the other things I want to encourage you to do is the somatic work. And what I mean somatic is, even if you talk with a great psychologist about what happened and you understand, the body still remember the stress, the body remember the fears, and the body remember the time you wanted to shout and you didn't shout because you're angry, or you wanted to cry and you didn't cry. It's in your body. So we do somatic work. I do every few weeks in San Francisco only a breathwork session that we go through
Mhm.
breathing into the body and we release stress. But everywhere you are in the world, I know there are many people going to listen to the recording and are not in San Francisco. You can find somatic work. It's holotropic breath work, rebirthing, things to release the body, even sometimes dancing or moving. There are all kind of meditation to release the stress that is stored in our body. So even if now you learn how the positive affirmation and you will start to calm yourself, we still need to clean the past. So this is the thing. You can book 15 minutes and we can talk about the program, but I really believe in daily practice.
Thank you, Priya.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. It was beautiful to see, not to see you all, but to be with you. And I'm so happy that people come and listen. And I'm happy that you are doing it even during other things because you can always come back to it. I'm going to send a recording and I really hope to see you soon.